Welcome to Rob Does Things, where today we're in Palworld, capturing Frostallion. This little Frost Pegasus is has some pretty cool stuff. Ice Emperor, ice damage up, Legend, attack boost. Crystal Wing is the signature move, along with Blizzard Spike, a very strong ice move. In the Pal deck is the Guardian Deity of the Palpagos Island, also known as the Winter Caller, and it adds ice to your attacks if you're mounted, which is pretty cool. Good for fighting dragons of various sorts. And conveniently enough, if you're needing a team to fight this thing, my last video might come in pretty handy, so be sure to check that one out where I capture Blazamut, which I stack my team with because I'm a dirty cheater. So let's go over team composition. I have Gale Claw, primarily for evasion, getting out of a tight spot, and jumping from platform to platform, which you'll see pretty handy. Basic Grass Tornado, Sand Tornado, both stock moves. Since the Sakurajima update, Ignis Rage is not great. I never liked it before because of the random aspect of it, but Blazamut now has Brawn Impact. It's an exclusive skill, probably coming from Blazamut Ryu. I personally choose to replace Ignis Rage with the Brawn Impact. I like Ignis Breath more than Ignis Rage anyway. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to give all of my Blazamuts the Brawn Impact and the Ignis Breath. And really, I'm just going to be cycling through the Blazamuts through the fight. You know, each time one gets hit, swap it out, let the other ones heal up. We've got Jet Dragon for healing up. And I mean the ice, I'm ideally not trying to use Jet Dragon for fighting because it's probably going to get wrecked by Frostallion because of the ice damage. So if you are somehow not aware of where Frostallion is, if you go to the Land of Absolute Zero, head directly west from there, you're going to end up seeing this bridge from above. And ultimately I see a chest, what I think is a chest. I think it's a Mimog, whatever. And in other places, I'm like, oh, if I use Beam Comet, I can deal a bunch of damage and catch it while it's still getting hit by the Beam Comet. This is a higher level, 42, and it just ignores the Beam Comet. So, didn't work out in this case. And then I'm like, oh, a chest. And what can I say? I see a chest. I gotta try and touch it. No Weinstein. Which immediately brings me to battle. I pull Jet Dragon back because I do not want him getting hit by this nasty thing. And that is something you want to pull any of your pals back from. 130 damage will do a lot of pain if it hits both you or your pals. That's Blazamut's new rage thingy punch guide deal. And so ultimately, beginning of the fight, just do some chip damage. Another move you don't want to be hit with is the Crystal Wing, and it's pretty easy to predict. It's a straight line, very dodgeable. All of the other moves are fairly negligible most of the time if you're strafing left to right or right to left. If you're strafing laterally, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for. If you're strafing laterally, you're generally not going to be hit with them. Now personally I like to hop to this ledge here because if you jump in the middle ledge, sometimes Frostallion will decide it's going to run all the way around to that far side. And it will chase your ass onto that ledge, and nobody likes dealing with that. Again, the thing about the Blizzard Spike is it does leave a lingering little cloud, which will hit you and will do a good amount of damage. Definitely don't get hit by both. My Blazamut there got hammered with something. And from up here, you can take pot shots, generally at your leisure. There are a couple of moves that will hit you up on that ledge, but if you keep moving around, you're generally going to be pretty safe. You'll be safe from the Crystal Wing, and the only things you'll need to jump away from are the Blizzard Spike. That one you can walk away from. The little crystal thing you can walk away from or do a little strafe. And that little, that little cutter, that's strafe, or that's dodgeable. The little quick bursts, those are strafable, and really they won't do too much damage. I call back Blazamut there to dodge the Crystal Breath, and then I jump to this spot here for the to dodge the Blizzard Spike, which again, that's the real move to miss because that thing stings. So at this point the fight is pretty stabilized. I don't really like that the Frostallion's up on the rocks there, kind of at a beneficial angle, especially for the Blizzard Spike against me, which I don't fucking appreciate. However, I figure as long as I'm right here, it's, you know, all the moves are fairly predictable. Blazamut did not listen to what I was saying and decided to knock it back on the back on the damn rocks again. So a little bit of damage there, pretty chill. Pull out the third Blazamut. First one should be fairly healthy at this point. I don't manage to get him to dodge the Crystal Wing, but he smacks it off into the distance. At this point I'm like, oh, I got the wrong weapon out because I would like to have a shotgun. So I can shotgun it in the face repeatedly. And this was a nice bunch of damage, just until I ran out of ammo. Pretty solid. He's very courteous of the Frostallion to just sit there and eat fucking shoddy for 12 full rounds. The breath I don't think will normally hit you if you are behind the ledge. Crystal Wing just can't reach you up on the hill. So as long as you're moving back and forth, none of the moves are really going to land solidly. There's the little ice cutter thing. I think it's called ice cutter actually. Little tiny chip damage, mostly negligible. At this point I'm like, you know what, I got a rocket launcher. I'm just going to stun it. If you do get into a bind, the rocket launcher stun while, you know, knocking it to the ground, it's pretty handy. At this point I kind of forget about what Blazamut's doing. Let it get a little bit low, lower than I prefer. But get the new Blazamut out. He's healthy, he's fun, he's having a great time. And at this point, you know, it's 30-something% health. Something hits me through the rocks, which that was weird. Normally it gets caught on the cliff edge there. Probably just clipped through. That happens in this game. Speaking of, I have no idea what just hit me, broke my shield, and froze me. Blazamut takes a good amount of damage there. It looked like it was probably the Crystal Wing. And I decided to take more cheap shots. But my shields are broken, so I need to chill out. I messed up there. I was busy reloading and did not catch the Blizzard Spike in time, so Blazamut ate that full thing. Sorry, Blazamut, that was my fault. My bad. Anyway, bringing out the next guy. It's like oh no. Anyway, yeah, so Blazamut number 2. Meanwhile, I started taking some fucking cheap shots from off in the distance. So I decided to use this ore for cover. Any of the moves that would do little chip damage that would keep me from recovering my shields are going to get blocked by that ore, so I just kind of hang out. And Frostallion's like, oh, you're on that ledge that I like to find you at. I am going to go try and get onto that ledge. So it chases me around, and I was like, oh, by the way, I have healing potions. Another Blizzard Spike, very dodgeable with Gale Claw there. Issue is, it gets stuck on the wall. I think Blazamut might have done its little fire punch into the actual wall. So I'm going to give Frostallion a little help here and rocket launch it so that it can get out from inside my damn platform. Generally, I keep saying generally, typically around 30, 2,000 health, I'll start to consider doing the rest of the damage on my own, just because I don't want to kill the damn thing. I'm also getting a little impatient at this point, so I started just rocketing it. Just the knockdowns or whatever. Crystal Wing, I did notice Blazamut walked into it like an idiot, but that's fine. That's why I brought 3 of the little bastards. So at this point, I'm just tracking its health. I can just let the Blazamuts do their own thing. Take a few little cheap shots here and there. Not that they're all hitting. Because I'm reloading, I do manage to recall Blazamut, and it was actually going at me, which I still dodged, so Good on me. Well played. Oh, and I do manage to catch that one coming too, so Blazamut, you're welcome. And here's what I mentioned, is like if you get on that middle platform, it'll try and run all the way to the edge because it knows it can get to you. And I hate having to deal with that. At this point though, I did not realize the music had stopped. I was sort of doing my own thing and I was like, what happened? And then I realized Blazamut's jumping around like I am, and that I have to re-aggro it because apparently I got out of range somehow. That actually is a tool. If it runs out of range, you can kind of reset, you know, get your health up. As long as you stay close to it, it won't regen all its health. So, pretty handy. I whiffed that one like a fucking noob, but I'm like, you know what? I'm getting to my hidey hole. I'm gonna hang out up here where it's safe and where I don't have to deal with things fucking up my shit. With only 2 Blazamuts awake, I have to pull out the other one and preserve the third. And apparently Blazamut got stunned, never did the little fireball that I was expecting. I've been paying attention to the damage that my rocket's been doing. It's about 300-ish. So I know that about 5 more rockets will bring it to the 1 health that the Mercy Ring will leave it at. And at that point I can just spam my balls at it. Leading up to this final damage push before capture, I'm content to let Blazamuts do the work as I reload all my stuff. New rockets, new reload for the single shot. Make sure everything's, you know, all my ducks are in a row, all my things are in order. Obnoxiously enough, Blazamuts set its ass on fire, and I realize it's ticking down to death. And so I'm like, oh, 92 health. Gotta get a ball on it quick. And it turns out it just didn't want to resist. So mission accomplished. And there we have it. Also got the PAL helm schematic. Unfortunately, even though this is the level 55 Frostallion, it's not any stronger a helm schematic, so kind of a bummer. I don't know yet where the other helms are. I haven't looked on YouTube. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. If you can capture 3 to 5 of those guys, you know, get some decent ones, you'll be able to utilize them in my next video. Until next time, thank you for watching and keep palling around.